Good morning, we're going to be starting our Pilates and posture work. So find yourself a mat, feet are bare, so we've got shoes off today and we are going to start off with setting up a neutral spine. So I'm going to do some sideways on showing of exercises and showing you face on. We're going to start off with our feet hip width apart. Now when we think about hip width, we're thinking about, for Pilates terms, we're thinking about the bones going down in the pelvis through the feet, not the outer width of our hips. So we're standing feet underneath our pelvis and we're going to start with a few pelvic tilts. So we're going to tilt the pelvis forward and back again. So I'm going to show you sideways on. We're tilting under and away. Pilates work is very subtle. So small little tweaks, just rolling the hips. Good. So if you want to, you can also make a little diamond shape. Rest your heels of your hands onto the hips and your fingers onto the pubic bone, thumbs just underneath your belly button. And you can think about tilting the fingers up and then tilting the thumbs forward. Good. Now, we're going to try and challenge this position, trying to keep somewhere halfway in between. So we pick a point, so we're neither in the extreme here nor right in the extreme here. We're going to hold it nicely so the spine is nice and long, tailbone is pointing down towards the floor. From this nice neutral position, shoulders come back and down and we're proud through the chest. So if you can just check now my shoulder position instead of here and slumped forward, we're pulling up and tall. Now we're going to do some movements over the next couple of minutes to try and challenge this position. Our muscle memory needs to create the memory here and in the chest so that we're down with the shoulder blades. We're going to start keeping the arms down by the sides with a few feet pedals. So we're going to try to keep this pelvis as straight as possible. If you imagine it as a bucket of water and you've got the bucket here with it's right full of water, we don't want that water to slosh as it turns through. So we're going to start to challenge that even more by lifting one leg. Keep it super small to start with. Core pulling in nice and tight to hold the pelvis in position. We've got that contraction down through the shoulder blades, and that's helping to keep us in this nice controlled position. The other thing we want to think about when we're doing pelvis work and Pilates work is that we're pulling up the pelvic floor. So we're pulling everything up nice and tight. Good. Let's do one more leg. So it's all the muscles that stop us from going to the toilet. We're zipping up right through here, as well as this belly button contraction. Let's try and challenge our shoulder position now. So remember, those shoulder blades are drawing down the back. We're going to go one arm up. Good. And slowly back down, pulling 30% abdominal connection in, 30% lift with the pelvic floor. Nice deep breaths. Exhale, lift the arm. And what we're trying to avoid here is swinging the arm and letting the ear rise right up. We're anchoring this down using the strong muscles in the shoulder. Good. And we're going to do a couple more on each side. Still keeping the pelvis nice and still. Still got feet hip width apart. Good. Finishing off on the left hand. Good. From here now we're going to work a little bit on the spine. So again, I'm going to turn sideways on so you can see what I'm doing. We start with our perfect posture. Feet are hip width apart again, shoulder blades are drawing down the back. We're going to do a few roll downs. So we're going to let this chin come down into the chest. We're going to glide our fingers down our thighs, keeping this tailbone tucked in until the last minute. If your hamstrings are really tight, you can let these knees be soft, and then you're going to come down and you're just going to hang here for a second. Inhale your breath, exhale, you're going to restack the spine, one vertebra at a time. The slower we go, the better on these. the slower we can go, the more we're going to get the stretch through the muscles. So we're going to do this 2 more times. Let the chin come down first. Keep the tailbone tucking down. Good. Slowly let the head be heavy. And at the bottom, you're going to inhale. Exhale, you're going to restack the vertebra. One at a time, really articulating, finding space through the spine as you come up. Head stays heavy for now. And we're going to take shoulders back and down, resetting. One more time, please. Inhale, exhale. You're going to let your body start to move. Good. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, restacking the vertebra. Good. And put yourself back into that optimal position. Well done. Now we're going to come down on towards the floor and we're going to do some work in plank. But with Pilates version of plank, we don't hold it static. We keep the movement going. So we're going to bring it down. You're going to go onto your elbows. We're going to take one leg at a time out into our plank position. So sit yourself up. We could do it up here. So we're going to walk one leg out and the other leg out. Right leg comes back in, left leg comes back in. Now let's do that left leg leading. What we're aiming for here is no excessive bend. We're not doing our planking here. We're drawing up, we're keeping our wrists underneath our shoulders. So we're going to walk out, out, in, and in. You can do that another time on the left side for me. Out, out, in, and in. Well done. One more time on each side. Keeping this pelvic connection. In and in. Out, out, in, and in. Well done. From here, we're going to come down onto the floor. We're going to lie. Again, we've got these feet hip width apart. We're going to come down to the floor and we're going to set the neutral spine again. So we're going to tilt the lower back right back and imprint it into the mat. And then we're going to lift. You've got your diamond shape on your hands again. Tilt all the way down and into the extreme, arching the lower back. And we're going to settle that halfway. So we've got that pelvic connection. We've got nice and neutral spine now, like we had standing, but this time lying down. From here, we're just going to challenge this position. So fingers on fingertips on hips so that you can control or feel any movement in the hips. You're going to slide one leg away, keeping this controlled position. And one more. Good. You're going to go on each side again. We're making sure these hips aren't rocking or doing anything here. Good. And away. One more time on each side. Slide away, and we're trying to hold a nice core connection in whilst we do this. Good. Well done. We're going to finish off with one more exercise and we're going to call it a roll down to the floor. We've got our feet nice and hip width apart, spine stacked as tall as possible. Can you see here? So I'm not starting off my position here. I'm lovely and tall. I'm going to come back this way around. Hands are out. We're going to tilt the pelvis under and roll back slightly. Nice strong core connection here. Try not to collapse the chin right into the chest. We're keeping our spine long and we're sitting up tall again. Breathe in, exhale. You're going to round through the spine. Abs are working tight. Good. And up. Good, 2 to go, please. Exhale, round the spine. Now, if you want an extra challenge, you can see if you can come a little bit lower. Good, and up. 1 to go. Inhale, exhale. Well done. And coming out of that move. Well done, everybody. So, things to work on second time round. You're going to really focus on keeping that pelvic position, the shoulders drawing down. This whole trunk of the body is nice and controlled. I want you to do this 2 more times, please, through. Nice and controlled, abdominal connection, pelvic floor pulling up, drawing shoulder blades down your back. Give it a try, let me know how you get on. Well done, everybody.